Hi everyone, I am going to introduce our research, and our research name is the Investigating the Influence of the Authoritarian Leadership and the Supervisor Certifications on the Turnover Intentions, the moderating roles of the employees' upbringing. Our authors have Ting En Hsiung, Chong Tong-Ming, Tan Ji-Ling, and Chen Po-Hong. We studied at National Changhua University of the Education in Changhua, Taiwan. And this is our presentation's contents. And this is the abstract and another. Abstract, the title Impacts of the Authoritarian Leadership on the Employee Turnover Intentions. The key point is the research indicated positive correlations between authoritarian leaderships in the Asia and the employees' turnover intentions. We use the fit theory to examine the compatibility between employee race under the authoritarian parenting and the authoritarian leaderships. The objective is to assess how the authoritarian leaderships affect the employee turnover intentions through supervisor certifications. We collected 232 valid questionnaires and refining the employees' authoritarian family upbringing moderated the relationships between the authoritarian leaderships and the supervisor certifications. The introductions, authoritarian leaderships and the employee turnover intentions. The context difference in leadership style between the East and West, focusing on the authoritarian leaderships in Asia. Authoritarian leaderships combines authority, benevolence, and moral integrity. Research aims is to exploit the effects of the authoritarian leaderships on turnover intentions with the supervisor certification as a mediator and the employee family upbringing as a moderator. Methodology is to examine how the family upbringing influence the attentions to the leadership styles and the impact supervisor certifications. We expect the outcome is family upbringing may shape the expectations of the leadership styles, affecting the supervisor certifications and the turnover intentions. The first literature reviews and the research hypothesis is the authoritarian leaderships. We focus on the silly readings and identifies unique leadership styles in Chinese business, enforcing strong hierarchies and the controls. Key traits is the centralized powers, strict controls, and the high authorities contesting with the Western leaderships. Cultural impacts influence the hierarchical dynamic in Chinese society distinct from the Western model. And the second one is authoritarian parenting style. Overview. The study by the Sophie Wang Huang showed that the parenting style vary based on the children's behaviors and needs. Parenting categories include the Maccabees and the Martins classifies parenting in 4 styles: authoritative, authoritarian, indulgent, and the neglecting based on the responsiveness and the demandingness. Focus on the authoritarian parenting, characterized by the strict controls and high demands. These styles use authority to guide the shape children's behaviors, often neglecting emotions aspects. Study aims to explore how authoritarian parenting impacts the employee expectations of the authoritarian leaderships and its effects in the different content. And the third one is the supervisor certifications. Definitions is the part of the certifications focusing on the employees' contentment with their supervisors. Influence the leadership styles, particularly authoritarians, can impact the certifications level varying by the cultural context. Focus studies examining how the authoritarian leadership affects supervisor certifications, particularly in the Chinese workplace. The next one is the turnover intentions. Concept is the resignations. Intentions is the voluntary decisions to leave the job due to dissatisfactions. Type is include the voluntary resignations due to the organization factors of the person's reasons. Focus studies explores voluntary resignations, especially due to the organization's dissatisfactions and the attention of the leadership staff. Decisions process. Mobilist model suggests dissatisfactions leads to the truth of the resignations and the potential withdrawal behavior. 2.5. The relationships between the authoritarian leaderships and the supervisor certifications. Characteristics involves the authoritative style, top-down communications, and the controls. Impact triggers negative emotions, subordinate leading to the lower job certifications and the subordinate dissatisfactions. Research finding that demonstrates negative associations between authoritarian leadership and the employee certifications with the supervisors. So the first hypothesis is authoritarian leadership is negatively correlated with the employee certifications with their supervisor. The 2.6, the relationships between supervisor certifications and the turnover intentions concept. The supervisor certification is a key to subordinate reactions and the reflex of the qualities of the leadership. Authoritarian leaderships often reduce the supervisor certification due to its authoritative and controlling natures. Impacts negative emotion from the authoritarian leadership can lead to the lower supervisor certifications and the higher turnover intentions. So the second one's hypothesis is employee certifications with their supervisors is negatively associated with their turnover intentions. The 2.6, authoritarian parenting style moderates relationships between the authoritarian leadership and the supervisor certifications. The content is family dynamics influence organization's hierarchy, presenting style affects the perceptions of the leadership. Theory is the person's job fit and the similarity in leadership styles between supervisor and the subordinated impacts of job certification. Impacts elements of the leadership's expectations with the personal upbringing leads to the higher certifications, reducing the turnover intentions. Study focus on examining how the authoritarian presenting background moderates the relationship between the authoritarian leadership and the supervisor certification. The last hypothesis is an employee's authoritarian family upbringing moderates the relationships between the authoritarian relationships and the supervisor certifications. The degree of the authoritarian family upbringing among the employee moderates the negative relations between the authoritarian leadership and the supervisor certifications. When the degree of the authoritarian parenting style is highest, it mitigates the negative relationship between the authoritarian leadership and the supervisor certifications. 3B is the degree of the authoritarian family upbringing among employee that moderates the negatively relationship between the authoritarian leadership and the supervisor certification. When the degree of the authoritarian parenting is lower, it intensifies the negative relationship between authoritarian leadership and the supervisor certification.
This is our research framework. This is our research method. 3.1 Participants and producers. Participants focus on employees of small and medium-sized enterprise in Taiwan. Spelling and data collection is employee proposal sampling using paper based on online self-take questionnaires. Our pretest is conducted to ensure reliability and internal consistency. The response rate, the review 400 questionnaires received 247 response, 232 valid, yielding a 55% effective response rate. The CMB prevention adopt information anonymization and pretest of objectivity and validity. Demographic collect data on gender, age, company, industry, statute. And 3.2 measure. The authoritarian leadership is based on Chen et al. 3.2. This is the scale we use for our variables, and control variables includes gender, age, education, tenure, occupation. And this is our data resource and analysis. 4.1 is CFA. Method is to analyze employee to assess model fit. And our S-squared is 892.639, and the RMSEA is 0.081. The SRMA is 0.69. CFI is 0.96. NFI is 0.966 and IFI is 0.96. 4.2 Descriptive Statistic and Pearson Correlation. The method is used Pearson correlation to analyze variables relationship. The multi-collinearity is no scientific issue as all correlations were below 0.8. Our finding is authoritarian leadership negatively correlated with supervisor satisfaction and positive with turnover intention. The supervisor satisfaction negatively correlated with turnover intention. The authoritarian parenting style negatively correlated with authoritarian leadership, positively with supervisor satisfaction, and negatively with turnover intention. This is our table of descriptive, statistic, and Pearson correlation. 4.3 is testing of hypothesis. Our finding is authoritarian leadership negatively correlates with supervisor satisfaction, and supervisor satisfaction negatively correlates with turnover intention. The support of hypothesis H1 is support and H2 also support. The moderating effect. The authoritarian parenting style moderates the relationship between authoritarian leadership and supervisor satisfaction, mitigating and or enhancing the negative impact based on the degree of upbringing. This table is our research hypothesis testing using linear regression. This figure is moderating effect of authoritarian parenting style. This is our discussion. The authoritarian leadership and its impact. The context. The authoritarian leadership command in Chinese enterprise often involves up-down communications and disrespect of subordinate opinions. Impact of certification exhibits a significant negative correlation of with employees' satisfaction with supervisor, as authoritarian action provoke negative emotion in employees. The turnover intention. Supervisor certifications negatively correlates with turnover intention, indicating higher employee retention when certifications is high. The role of leadership style. Leadership style deeply affect employee emotions and attitudes, impacting their intention to stay or leave the organization. The moderating effect of parenting. The study also examines the moderating roles of employees' authoritarian family upbringing on the relationship between authoritarian leadership and supervisor satisfaction. The family upbringing's moderating role in leadership. Our focus is how family upbringing style moderate the impact of authoritarian leadership on supervisor satisfaction. The influence of authoritarian upbringing. The employees rise in strict authoritarian families likely adapt better to authoritarian leadership, leading to higher supervisor satisfaction and workplace harmony. The construct with less authoritarian upbringing. Those from more moderate background may structure with authoritarian leadership, resulting in lower supervisor satisfaction due to conflict with their values of autonomy and cooperation. Our summary is family upbringing shapes how employees respond to leadership style, influencing their satisfaction with supervisor. This is our reference. Thanks for your listening.